Yes, Your Honor, Senior Deputy Dominguez with the Sheriff's Fugitive Unit here on the Ponsetto matter. This comes on calendar for a fugitive warrant out of the state of New York. I did meet with Ms. Ponsetto this morning at the Toddville Jail, explained to her her rights, which she understood.
There is apparently a warrant from the state of New York alleging felony violations for attempted robbery in the third degree, endangering the welfare of a child, attempted grand larceny in the fourth degree, and attempted assault in the third degree.
Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl, Neek, and tonight we're going to be talking about this SOHO Karen who has finally been arrested after this viral video shows her assaulting a 14-year-old boy and accusing him of stealing her iPhone that she actually left in an Uber. Most of you guys have seen this video, but if you have not, I'm going to show you the video. Then I'm going to show you her aggressively attacking him, and then we're going to get more into this story.
Please. Show me this is my phone. Show me. No.
You don't have to explain nothing to her.
Take the case off. That's mine. Literally, get it back, please.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No. Okay, then show me the. Show me all my.
You get a life
over there. No, what's on your background?
You better go use find my iPhone. Go do that.
Find my iPhone is on. On now. Right
no, you can't. No.
I'm the manager of the hotel.
I don't care.
He will
this is
right
my
now.
son.
Hey,
Did you see me just come downstairs out of the fucking elevator?
I'm trying to help.
No, but you're not helping.
I
What
am.
you've been is disrespectful.
No, I'm trying to settle the situation. I'm asking
my son
for-
has nothing to do with her.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the lobby.
Then show me the proof. No, he's not leaving. Show me the proof.
Are you
Show me
kidding
the
me? You better get on.
I need you away.
Let's go, King.
I need you away.
I'm sorry.
Better get on. We have you see two black people?
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
You better get on somewhere,
No, please
lady.
get my phone back. I cannot not have my phone.
Listen, get your ass on.
Okay, so as you can see, after she accuses him of having her phone, she slams and tackles him to the ground, trying to get this phone that he has that is not her iPhone. And after this incident, she ended up realizing that her phone wasn't even on the boy, that it was actually left in an Uber. And then shortly after this, well, days after this, then the hotel called themselves issuing a statement, and the woman was at large for a very long time. And in the midst of her being free to willy-nilly probably accuse another black person of a senseless act that did not happen to her, this is what the hotel, who a lot of people felt like were responsible and complicit in this act as well because of how the manager handled it, this is what they had to say. We are deeply disheartened about the recent incident of baseless accusations, prejudice, and assault against an innocent guest of Arlo Hotel. In investigating the incident further, we've learned that the manager on duty promptly called the police regarding the woman's conduct and that hotel security intervened to prevent further violence. Still, more could have been done to de-escalate the dispute. No Arlo guest or any person should be subject to this kind of behavior. We want to apologize to Mr. Harold and his son for this inexcusable experience and have reached out to them directly to express our sincere regret and to offer help in dealing with this traumatic event. We are committed to making sure this never happens again at any of our hotels. So that is what the hotel had to say. And a lot of people called the hotel out in the comments. They were like, okay, so where do you hold your manager accountable? Is he fired? This isn't really a sincere apology. Who did you call the police on? Was it for him or for her? You know, they felt like the only reason y'all called the police because y'all was calling the police for her. Y'all wasn't really calling it for him. And a lot of people called the hotel out in their comments, to which they ended up shutting off their comments and not showing their comments. Well, the woman was still at large. People were still looking for her. They had put like a wanted sign out for her. There was a lot of people who signed a petition for her to be arrested for assault on a minor. And it just was a whole lot. Before she went on Gayle King's show to try to clear the air, but she only ended up making it worse for herself, she was spotted at a McDonald's in California, and she wanted y'all to know that she is 22 and she is Puerto Rican, as if that's relevant to her being prejudiced and racist at all. I mean, girl, and like what? Here's that video.
Why did you do it? You know? He's young. Do you have any regrets?
I'm actually 22, so I don't know what the problem is here.
No, but
and I'm also Puerto Rican, so thank you.
Oh, so okay.
Take care of yourself.
Does that justify what you did?
The fact that she really tried to point out, oh, and I'm also Puerto Rican. Like, girl, nobody asked you that for one, because that has nothing to do with you profiling somebody who's black. Because just because you are not white does not mean that you are not prejudiced persons against black people, and there are several Puerto Ricans who are prejudiced against blacks. So, girl, what are you saying? Also, her saying that she's 22, what is that? What is that? What does that mean? You're old enough to know better. That's all that means to me. So, but what are you saying? Like, I'm 22, meaning what? I could do dumb stuff. I didn't know no better? Because at 22, you definitely know better. But anyways, this little smart-lipped heifer ended up going on the Gayle King interview wearing a daddy hat, and she wanted to clear the air and she ended up getting smart with Gayle King, telling Gayle King, like, girl, that's enough. Like, basically didn't want to hear what Gayle had to say. And shortly after that, the little heifer ended up getting arrested, as she should have. Okay?
Mia, help me understand. What made you think that Keon had your phone? That's why I'm confused. Why did you think he had it?
I was approaching the people that had been exiting the hotel, because in my mind, anybody exiting is probably the one that might be the one that is trying to steal my phone. I admit, yes, I could have approached the situation differently, or maybe not yelled at him like that and made him feel, you know, maybe some sort of inferior way, making him feel as if I was like hurting his feelings, because that's not my intention. I consider myself to be super sweet. I really never ever meant for it to like hurt him or his father either.
Are you saying that you were stopping everybody in the lobby, asking them about your phone? Is that what you're saying?
Not everyone.
Now, Gayle know good and well this heifer only stopped the person that she thought, which was the black people. That's it. That's all. That's all she stopped. I highly doubt she stopped anybody else and asked them about a phone. So Gayle continued to talk to her, and she wanted to know context. She's like, you know, you need to give more context to why you thought it was him, because she was trying to act like it was no big deal. You know, it just was what it was. She just was looking for her phone, talking about, oh, usually I'm super sweet. And then Gayle was like, super sweet, like, and then she's like, you know, I don't want this to define me, yada, yada, yada. And Gayle King was just telling her, like, okay, but it looked like you doing more than just accusing him. Like, you actually attacked him, you know. And then she wanted to try to point out, like, oh, well, his dad, you know, his dad put his hands on me too. Like, yeah, rightfully so. He should have put hands, feet, elbows, and whatever he had to put on you should have been put on you, baby girl. Like, of course his dad put his hands on you. He should have did a lot more. But this is more of what she had to say.
You did more than just accuse him. The video seems to show that you physically attacked this young boy. You do see that too, right?
But at the end of the day, the dad did end up like slamming me to the ground and pulling my hair and throwing me and dragging me across the ground. So I will say that.
Yeah, but I think, you know, the video we saw, it looked like you had just attacked his son.
Yeah, the footage shows me attacking his son. Of attacking him how? Yelling at him? Yes. Okay, I apologize. Can we move on?
I know you're saying I don't need to, I just want to apologize, but I do think that there should be some context to your actions that day.
Okay, so basically, I'm a 22-year-old girl. Racism how is one girl accusing a guy about a phone a crime? Where is the context in that?
Mia,
what is the deeper
Mia,
story
it's
here?
not, that's not the problem. You have to at least understand your actions that day. You seem to have attacked this little boy, this young boy, this teenager. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone, and then it turned out he didn't even have your phone. That's the thing. I mean, You're saying, look, I'm 22 years old. You're 22 years old, but you are old enough to know better. So I will say you're 22. I get it.
Enough. The hotel did have my phone.
Child, I cannot with this little heifer. She gonna say, all right, Gayle, enough. Like, basically, like, shut up, B. Like, girl, stop talking to B. She did not want Gayle talking to her, like, period. If you guys want to see the interview more clearly, you can go to my Instagram. I posted it on my Instagram, but for YouTube purposes, you know, I had to drop that opacity and do some trickery so that y'all can kind of still get a feel, but you know how it goes on these YouTube streets. Anyways, so like I said, after this interview, like I want to say shortly after this interview, like maybe within a day's time or even before that, she ended up being arrested, and this is what the police statement said. The Ventura County Sheriff's deputy had planned to make a traffic stop on the warrant for her arrest out of New York, but she refused to stop and drove slowly through her Piru, California neighborhood, officials say. When she came to a stop, she put up a fight and resisted arrest. ABC News reports that she had to be physically restrained and arrested. Poncetta is being held on no bail and will have an extradition hearing. Once she is done with New York, she could also face charges in California for resisting arrest and possibly for the pursuit. Now, when you go on over to TMZ, it shows that she has now been charged with 4 felonies for this incident. And as I showed you guys in the beginning, it showed you, you know, what she was being charged with.
Alleging felony violations for attempted robbery in the 3rd degree, endangering the welfare of a child, attempted grand larceny in the 4th degree, and attempted assault in the 3rd degree.
Now, this is not her first run-in with the law. Now, Miss Poncetta has been having a very busy 2020, and that includes her being arrested 2 times for a DUI in 2020, and also being arrested with her mother back in February for being drunk in public at a Peninsula Hotel in Beverly Hills. Now, as for the 14-year-old boy who she attacked, his father says that he is seeking therapy for his trauma, as he should. And when I hear that, I hear cha-ching. Sue this heifer for whatever she got, sue the hotel for whatever they got, and get justice for them all together, because these Karens need to be stopped. They need to be stopped. Now, a lot of people wondered why Gayle King was interviewing her and not speaking with the family, yada, yada. Well, the family has been speaking out, but it just has not been getting a lot of coverage. The mother of the boy is demanding justice from the hotel manager. She wants him to be held accountable as well in this assault on her son, because she feels like he empowered the woman to be able to do that instead of using his skills to de-escalate and figure out what was going on. He just blindly just took her word and kind of was complicit in what was going on. So the mom, this is what she had to say.
For my son to say, "Mom, why me? Why did this lady and the manager think they could accuse me?" He empowered that woman to assault my son and is equally to blame for this injustice.
That's right. Amen.
He chose to try and prove that he was innocent instead of using his hospitality tools and asking our 14-year-old son his side of the story.
I can imagine what it would have been like if I wasn't there to be with him.
Mom, Kat, let me bring you in here. You had to hear about it and then see the video later. You weren't there. And parents' instinct, like Dad just said, is to protect your cub, to protect your child. What was that like for you to have to hear about that experience and to have to even watch that video later and not be able to be there?
For me, fear came in, because my son, if his father wouldn't have been there, what would have happened to my son if the cops would have been called? So fear set in as a mother. And when my son asked me, "Why me, son? That? Why me, Mom? That?" It just hurt.
What's your answer to that question? Why me, Mom?
The toughest answer that a parent has to give their child, "Son, unfortunately, it might be because you're black. It might be because you're no longer seen as a child. When you look at him, he looks like he could be 16 or 17, but when you hear him speak, he's a 14-year-old boy.
If the roles would have been reversed and you had a black adult tackle a white teenager and falsely accuse that white teenager of taking a cell phone, we know that he would have been arrested for assault and battery.
All right, guys, that's all for this video. I just wanted to give you guys a full breakdown of the story of everything that has been going on, since I didn't directly do this story right away when it happened. So I wanted to give you guys the full ins and outs. I wanted you to hear from the mom, hear what she had to say, show you guys that this woman has now been arrested and charged with 4 felonies, as she should, and that the son of the parents that this happened to, how he is now in therapy because he was traumatized from this experience. And I think that they need to get him all the therapy that he can receive and rack up the bill and have Arlo Hotels pay for it, pay for the damages, and pay for anything else they feel is associated with this situation, and pay them their money, because I feel like the manager of the hotel was enabling her to act a fool in this situation, and they did not handle it properly because they seen a black boy and automatically assumed that because he was black that he was guilty. So run up the therapy bill, run it up, run it up, run it up. Run up all the damages. His neck probably hurt too. Make sure you could go and check to see if his neck hurt. He probably sprained a wrist that y'all don't notice. You know, run it up. Okay? And until next time, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.